Good evening and welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School Wrestling. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, being joined tonight by a good friend and former East Brunswick High School coach, Greg DeMarco. Greg, welcome.
John, thank you very much for calling me up here. Once wrestling gets in your blood, it's hard to get it out, and I haven't had too much opportunity to see some good wrestling. So thanks for giving me one of the best seats in the house here.
Greg, we have East Brunswick and Union. Union has historically been a powerhouse, yet they're coming up against a 4-2 East Brunswick team where injuries is really the key word.
Yes, tonight it's going to be especially tough for East Brunswick. They do have about 3 or 4 key injuries. Union is off to its best start in 23 years, according to their coach, Al Lilly, and it's going to be a tough one for East Brunswick. But I'm sure we're going to see some very good wrestling. And of course, this gives a good opportunity for the second string or JV wrestlers who step into these shoes to show everybody what they have. So I think it's going to be good.
All right, we're about ready to go here at East Brunswick and Union, and we'll be back with the start of the meet in just a moment. Well, as we begin this match tonight, East Brunswick and Union, you'll see the daughters of Greg DeMarco. Proud father.
Looks like they're behaving themselves.
Greg, we were corrected. Union is 3-1. I had said 3-0. So still fine record. And as you said, still the best start in some 20 years.
True, John. They very strong Union team. They have 2 tournaments under their belt. They took first place in the Parsippany tournament, and they have taken second place in the Governor Livingston tournament. Just behind a very tough Hunterdon Central team. So this Union here is loaded for bear, and let's see how the Bears respond.
All right, we'll start out at 103 pounds for East Brunswick, DJ Halpern, and he'll be going up against Kevin Krusk. And as soon as the official comes out, we'll be ready to get this match underway. As you see, Coach Stu Cohn, head coach of the East Brunswick High School wrestling team, and that's DJ getting warmed up, getting ready, working with one of his teammates.
Yeah, this warm-up phase of wrestling is, as in most sports, is very, very important. But this young man's about to walk out on the mat and have his body bent into all sorts of different positions, and they've got to be warm, they've got to be loose. So let's see how DJ can do here now.
All right, our first match of the evening, Halpern and Krusk. East Brunswick in the green, Union in the maroon. Each wrestler will wrestle for 3 2-minute periods, or a total of 6 minutes.
Yeah, first period they'll start out in the neutral position, and what DJ is trying to do here right now is get control of his opponent. He's got to break that grip, get behind him, and if he does, he's going to get 2 points for a takedown. Referee is signaling so far now that there's no points awarded. But DJ at this position is in good shape. Of course, the ultimate in wrestling is to pin your opponent. Okay, the referee just signals a stalemate there now. In his opinion, neither wrestler could improve the position, so he just breaks it and they start over again now.
DJ is a sophomore. His record is 4-1-1 in dual meets, including tournament action.
That's a great record for a sophomore. He's coming along very well. In fact, half of East Brunswick squad tonight is comprised of sophomores, and that certainly bodes well for the future.
Coach Cohn tells us that in general, as the wrestlers go out of bounds, that DJ gives up around 5 pounds per opponent.
Yes, they've recently raised the weight class a few pounds, so he's at a slight disadvantage, but he can make up for that in speed and technique. As you see here, he's working hard to get that takedown, and right there he gets it. 2 points.
So DJ on top 2-0 with 43 seconds to go here in the first period. 103 pounds.
Okay, now as they go out of bounds, they'll start in referee's position, which means DJ will be offensive in the top position, and his Union opponent will be down in the defensive position. What DJ wants to try to do here is to turn his opponent to his back and either pin him, which would terminate the match, or in the very least score a few back points and lengthen his 2-0 lead.
Krusk trying to escape, and that's his.
Okay, that's 1 point for an escape. We have a 2-1 score now.
25 seconds left in the period.
DJ's working hard for this takedown. He's one thing many people don't realize is that there's a lot of technique involved. It's not merely the strongest nor the fastest wrestler here. They're really trying combinations of moves, and I'd say each wrestler learns about 100 or maybe 200 moves a year. And that skill can really mean the difference in many matches.
That's it. First period action is over. 103 pounds, and DJ Halpern on top, 2-1. The choice will go to East Brunswick's going to take down as Halpern has the choice.
Come third period, if it extends that far, then the other wrestler from Union will get his choice. When you get your choice, you can either take neutral position as they start the first period, or top or bottom. And DJ here took bottom, and what he wants to do now is escape for possibly 1 point, or even better yet, reverse positions on which he'd get 2 points. It's still a close match, and he really wants to work hard to get out of there. Okay, you see the referee getting down there, indicating no points given for back points. They just rolled through. But right now, this Union wrestler is in a good position. He looks pretty strong on top. DJ's struggling a little bit here.
1:25 in the second period. Halpern on top, 2-1, but is being handled so far by Krusk of Union. Greg, both wrestlers must attempt to do something, or else a stall is called.
Yes, they are very, very strict with stalling calls, and that's the way it should be. They want to reward aggressive wrestlers, and if they think you're stalling, they'll call you pretty quick about that. So the bottom man has to work actively to get out, improve his position, while at the same time the top man must work hard to turn his opponent and thereby improving his position. As they go to bounds here now, I might add that each wrestler should be looking at the clock, at the scoreboard, to see how much time is left, to see what the score is, and then take a quick look over at the coaching sideline there and maybe get some pointers from the coach. And you'll see most wrestlers, when they go out of bounds, will do that.
40 seconds left in the second period. Halpern holding on to a 2-1 lead. This is the first match of the evening, East Brunswick and Union.
So Union wrestler is working very, very tough on top. Okay, DJ's got a chance to get out here now, and if he turns, okay, he's got to free his leg though, and the ref indicates out of bounds. So he wasn't able to get that.
No points awarded. Still 2-1, and Halpern is still down.
Yeah, we've got 20 seconds now to score some points. DJ took the down position because he thought he could get out, so he's got 20 seconds left to take advantage of that. Okay, he's working hard now to free his hands and turn real quick into his opponent. He's been trying to work his stand-up.
Inside 10 seconds now.
DJ's working hard here. If he can get his leg down on the mat, he might have a chance. There we go, reversal.
And there he'll get two. Two at the buzzer. So Halpern goes up 4-1. And Krusk looks to be hurt.
Yes, he probably has a slight injury. I think he hurt his head on the mat here. And while we're talking about injuries, I might add that wrestling is really one of the safest sports that these athletes can participate in. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is it's the only athletic sport in which it's conducted on a 2-inch foam rubber mat. And really that cushions or pads a lot of the bruises which the wrestlers might have. Second thing is there's one referee for 2 participants. And if the referee thinks there's any chance of injury occurring, he'll stop the match and just have the wrestlers start over. The last thing which ensures that there's not much in the way of injuries is the fact that the rules safeguard against this. Yeah. You can't even grab 2 fingers or 3 fingers. You have to grab 4 or more. So put it all together, and 90% of the problems or injuries that occur are really sprains or bruises.
All right, Krusk seems to be okay. He'll take or assume the bottom position for the third period. This the final period. Halpern on top 4-1, and the referee will stop the action.
Yeah, we have a false start there, and apparently the referee didn't feel anybody was at fault, so he's just going to start him over again.
Generally, they give you a warning, right, Greg?
Yes, if you do make a false start, you'll be called as a caution, but if you do it again, you're going to lose a point. Okay, now the Union wrestler just escaped. 4-2 score, and we're back up on our feet, where each wrestler will try to take the other one down.
And they go out of bounds with 1:40 to go in the final period.
I was especially impressed with DJ's efforts at the end of the second period there. We always tell wrestlers, keep going till the buzzer, and he got that 2 points right at the buzzer, so that was a real good move on his part. Here he's working for the takedown, and it's going to be some action here.
Halpern's back is exposed to the mat.
Yes,
no points awarded yet.
All right, other wrestler has to get control, which he just got. The referee's now counting for back points. We've lost 2 points on a takedown here, and we're going to lose probably 3 on a near fall, but we've got plenty of time left to come back.
1:05 left in the fourth period. Halpern trying to get away from that back position, does so. 3 points to Krusk. Makes it 7-4. Krusk takes the lead. Halpern still not in control at this point. Halpern making a move.
He's going to do it. He's going to get 2 right there.
And he does. 7-6 as they go out of bounds with 39 seconds.
And that's what he's looking at now. He's looking at the fact that he's got 39 seconds left. He needs a point to tie. And I believe the coaches just told him to cut him loose, that is, give up 1 point escape, and then try to work for the takedown, in which case we'd get away with a tie. So let's see if DJ is going to take that advice. Okay, that's...
Krusk never got a chance to get up. Now Halpern will back off.
Okay.
He gives him the point.
We're down by 2, but a takedown would tie it. We've got 28 seconds to do that.
8-6 is the score. Krusk on top for Union. Clock running, 20 seconds. Halpern trying to get the takedown. Stalemate is called with 15 seconds.
Pressure's on now. DJ knows the score. He's got to get the takedown to tie. He's got 15 seconds to do it. Union wrestler, on the other hand, knows the exact same thing. He's got to stay away for 15 seconds, and there you get a stalling call on the Union wrestler backing up at the whistle. If he backs up again, he'll lose a point.
Krusk on his knees. Halpern trying to circle around him. 7 seconds left. 8-6 is the score. Halpern needs the takedown.
Got to get that leg free and not.
That's it. He won't do it. An exciting match. DJ Halpern falling short, 8-6.
Tough loss, tough. Very, very good concentration there on DJ. He knew what he had to do, but the Union wrestler just was a little bit too tenacious and hung on.
Well, a great start for the Bears in terms of excitement, even though Halpern was on the losing end.
That was a great bout. He's going to be a good one. He's only a sophomore, and I think you're going to see a lot about DJ. He looked good in losing.
We're up to 112 pounds. That's Brian Mintz for East Brunswick going against Ken DeHart. Mintz is a junior, one of the more seasoned wrestlers on the team. He comes in with a 10-1 record, Greg.
Mintz is one of the premier wrestlers on the East Brunswick team right now. With a 10-1 record, he's did quite well in the top of the East tournament over Christmas. 10-1 record at this point in time is just great. But East Brunswick's down by 3 in the team standing, so they really have got to come on here and do a good job.
Wrestlers go out of bounds. DeHart looking to fix his head equipment, his headgear.
Yeah, back in our day, you didn't have to wear those headgear, and we managed to get a cauliflower ear or two, but modern technology has pretty much eliminated that problem in wrestling.
First period action, 1:15 left, no score. East Brunswick trailing in team points, 3-0.
You can see the different technique here that Mintz is using. He tries to tie up that arm with a Russian lock, and now he was able to get the 2 points takedown, going in the legs right away, and working to turn his opponent. He's looking real tough. And we have a double grapevine here, and he's working to wear his opponent out, turn him to his back, get some back points. And we've got 40 seconds in the match here, but he's looking pretty good.
Wrestlers go out of bounds. Mintz on top, 2-0. Coach Cohn tells us that Brian Mintz is a good student and he could possibly contend for county, district, and region titles this year.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And he still has another year left after this.
30 seconds left here in the first period. Mintz still working, has control of DeHart.
You can see how he works leverage to his advantage, the way he's working that arm here, trying to make the best of his weight, even though this wrestler is a little bit taller than him. But technique really comes into play when it comes to being a good wrestler.
As they go out of bounds with 15 seconds. Second match of the evening, 112 pounds. Brian Mintz for the Bears against Ken DeHart from Union.
Okay, Brian using that ankle to break his opponent down, and then he goes to work on the upper body after he stops his opponent's initial move. Trying to work the hand through.
And that'll end the first period. Mintz holding to a 2-0 lead. DeHart will take the top position. And he's really gasping for some air.
Yeah, I'd say that if you had to have one good, strong quality in wrestling, it has to be conditioning. You can be the greatest wrestler in the world, but if you can't go 6 minutes, it's not going to do you any good. So above all other qualities, it's conditioning, which is most important.
Mintz trying to reverse DeHart. No points yet.
He's in good shape here, though. He's going to scoot his hips up and get 2 points right about now. There we go.
And he's got it. 4-0.
Mintz in great control of this match here. Working those legs very well. Scoring some points here, but he's got to turn his opponent now if he's going to get some points while he's in top position. He's working hard, though, working very hard.
DeHart really not able to do much.
I think we might see conditioning play a factor in this match here. It looks to me like the Union wrestler halfway through the match is starting to fade.
Inside a minute remains in the second period. Mintz on top, 4-0.
Can be deceptive too. Sometimes it looks like the wrestlers are out of shape when in fact maybe they're suffering from a cold or coming off the flu. So even though they work and train very hard, they may not look good out on the mat because of those illnesses. That's the one bad thing about a winter sport. You have to contend with those wintertime illness and snow.
So with 40 seconds, they'll start again. Second period action. And so far, Brian Mintz has had his way with DeHart from Union.
Brian's got to get him down on the mat, though. He's dangerous when they get up to the feet there.
As long as Mintz isn't out, the action still goes on, right, Greg?
Yes, that's correct. One wrestler can be out of bounds, and he's got him to his back, but he's got to pull him in, and he's trying real hard to do that. We have 15 seconds here. He's going to try to get him onto the back. He's got to pull him in first, though, to get those back points. And here we go.
He's got him.
We're going to get some points. Referee's counting.
5 seconds.
Let's go for the fall here.
That'll do it, first period. And 3 points are awarded to Mintz.
Yeah, that's the end of the second now, going into the third. So we have a good 7-point lead, but we've got to get some more points. Union chooses neutral position. It's his choice this period, and he decides to take standing. Could be a problem though, because I think Mintz looks pretty good on his feet.
Mintz again taking control. He's in the lead, 7-0. Third and final period.
Okay, Mintz got the 2 there.
Up to 9-0.
Okay, Mintz looking good in all positions here, neutral, bottom, and top. Working hard with these legs here, putting in cross faces, hoping to get his opponent to his back. And we need some more points here. It's about 1:18 to go.
Greg, when we get a minute, I'd like you to review the team scoring.
Okay, very good. If you pin your opponent, you'll get 6 points. And that's the ultimate in wrestling. That's equivalent to the knockout in boxing. That's something that all wrestlers strive for. To get a pin, or a fall as it's sometimes called, you have to have the shoulders down for 2 full seconds. And that would be 16 points. If there's no pin, then it goes to the match points. And you can get anywhere from 3 to 5 match points depending upon the point differential between you and your opponent. In case of a tie, each team is awarded 2 team points.
45 seconds, Mintz working hard to turn the heart over. He leads 9-0.
And one thing I like about Mintz here, you see him, he's not sitting on that lead, and that's something very tough to get some wrestlers to do. You get a lead, you open it up, you widen it. You don't sit and change your style. Many a wrestlers lost by doing that. Mintz is not making that mistake. He's too experienced to.
Anything could happen. You can be rolled over in a second.
That's right, and here we go. He's working real hard for the fall. We only have 15 seconds to go. Okay, if we can get this guy to his back pretty soon here. It doesn't look like we're going to do it now. We've got 4 seconds.
And that'll do it. Brian Mintz with a 9-0 victory at 112 pounds.
Okay, that by beating him by 8 points to 11, that'll give East Brunswick 14 points. Of course, he beat him by 9, so team score here should be 4-3.
We'll move to 119 pounds for East Brunswick. Greg Salzman against Earl Finney.
At 119 for Union, Earl Finney.
Greg is a senior, 9-3 overall this year. A 3-year letterman for the Bears. And he finished second in the districts last year, Greg.
Yes, Greg's done a fine job. He's one of the more experienced wrestlers. So far, East Brunswick's been doing quite well in the takedown area on their feet. And let's see if we can keep it up here.
Team scoring, East Brunswick does take the lead, as Greg said, 4-3. As we move into the third match of the evening. First period action. Salzman.
Hey, look at that takedown. Very nice barrel roll, dump.
And he gets 2 points for it.
And almost took his opponent to his back right away, which is something you really want to try to do when you take your opponent down. Get him to his back real quick. Don't give him time to recover. I think Greg may have let him go there, feeling confident that he can take him down again.
2-1. Finney given the 1 point for the escape. Finney moving in now to take hold, can't maintain any control.
Greg here with a whizzer though, fighting him off pretty good. He's not in bad shape here. He can in fact secure a takedown from that position.
Inside of a minute left, first period.
Okay, we got a problem there. He lost 2 points.
Finney takes control. It's 3-2 now. And they go out of bounds.
Okay, Greg's got to get out of here in a hurry now. He's got 45 seconds to escape or reverse his opponent. I think he's capable of doing it. Let's see what he does now. He's thinking right now, what move can I do? He's looking over at the coaches, seeking advice, but what move can I do to get out of here and score some points? He's trying a stand-up. Most East Brunswick wrestlers, as I've seen here tonight, have been trying stand-ups from the bottom position.
Which I would think requires a lot of speed and quickness.
Yes, but it's not just standing up. There's a lot of technique involved. You want to control his hands. You want to get your hips out, your head up. One of the big things of any wrestling practice is drill. We don't just wrestle in practice. They drill their techniques and drill it and drill it.
Finney having control of Salzman.
Yeah, he's got that arm tied up. That's his first order of business there. He's got to get his arm free, and then he stands a chance of scoring some points.
And that'll do it for the first period. Finney on top, 3-2 over Greg Salzman. 119-pound match.
Okay, Greg looks to the sideline for some advice here, and he's going to take down position. Checks the score out. He knows he's down by a point. But someone once said it ain't over till it's over. And let's see how we do.
Second period just beginning.
Tried to roll through there, looking for Peterson.
Finney's still in control.
Okay, trying that roll through again. He's having a little trouble finishing that though. He's got to work more on his hand control here.
And Greg, looks like Finney just rolls with him when he tries the Peterson.
Yeah, Finney is just kind of holding on here. He's not doing a heck of a lot. Maybe he's conserving his energy, but he's certainly not working too hard for the fall. But here we go.
Salzman turns him to his back.
To his back.
He'll get 2.
Okay, 2 points for the reversal.
4-2, Salzman in the lead. 1:13 left in the second period.
That's one problem with holding on when you're on top there. It gives your opponent a chance to work his moves, and Greg took advantage of that.
Finney trying to escape, and he does. He'll take a point. We're tied at 4.
Greg can't relax here now. He's got to get tough. It's tie score. He's got 50 seconds to score a takedown. And let's see if he takes advantage of that. There he's in on a leg.
He's got the leg. Can he pull it down?
He's got to get him down to the mat. And there he goes. Come on, hips up. Oh, almost.
Finney fights him off. 30 seconds. We're tied at 4, 119 pounds. Finney circles around.
Circle, face him. If Greg can face him here, he'll be all right. This is going to be close. We're in a very tight spot here. One thing you might want to do is look for that out of bounds mark in that kind of situation. They both went out, so now Greg gets a fresh start.
13 seconds, second period, tied at 4. They'll start on their feet.
Okay, neither wrestler here taking advantage of this time.
Finney jumps in. Down to a second, that should do it for the period. No points.
Well, we've had some good matches here so far. They're all close, and this one's no exception. Okay, we have an injury time here. I think Greg has a slight sprain of his neck, and the trainer will come over and see what he can do. When this takes place, when you do call a timeout for injury, the referee walks over to the injured wrestler, make sure he doesn't get any extra coaching. However, the other wrestler may get some extra coaching. So in the past, that wasn't the rule, and sometimes the wrestler would take a break just to hear what his coach might have to say, just to catch his breath. But they kind of incorporated this new feature where the referee makes sure that doesn't happen. That's a good rule.
And you see Phil Hostler and Stu Cohn attending to Greg Salzman. As we're ready to enter the third and final period, we're tied at 4. And Salzman's having his hands full with Earl Finney. A good match.
Very good. Phil is probably one of the most important people in any athletic program, being the athletic trainer. And what's nice is that every sport, whether it be football, girls basketball, cross country, they all benefit from his
That's right, yeah.
His advice and his care. And East Brunswick's very fortunate to have him. He's probably one of the best around.
Looks like Salzman will be able to continue.
Yes, each wrestler is allowed a total of 2 minutes injury time during any one match. Say Greg used probably about a minute, but he's ready to go here. He knows what has to be done. Tie score. Let's see if he can pull it off.
All right, Salzman starts on top for the final period. Working to turn Finney over. Working the legs.
Okay, now you see an example there. The referee stopped the match because it was a potentially dangerous situation. It wasn't even dangerous. It just had the potential to be. So he stops the match, ensures that nothing happens to either wrestler, and they start over.
Finney escapes and gets a point. 5-4. He takes the lead.
Okay, if Greg can get a takedown here, that'll be worth 2 points, and I'll have a 1-point lead. But it looks like Finney's got different ideas.
Finney jumps in there for 2 more points. Now 7-4. Finney on top. In terms of score and also physically, he's on top of Salzman here.
Don't count him out here. We've got time yet, 1:13. Well, okay, now we're in big trouble. The referee indicating that some back points will be awarded as he counts out. You can see his left hand there is indicating that at least 2 points will be given. If Finney can keep Greg on his back for 5 seconds, he will instead get 3 points. And the ref's still saying, nope, you only got 2, son. But now we've got some trouble, I think.
42 seconds left in the period. Salzman fighting from being pinned. He trails 7-4. Earl Finney applying pressure. He's in control.
It looks like we have a tortoise and hare syndrome here. Finney came out kind of steady paced. Greg came out pretty quick and fast, got a nice lead, but now we have the tortoise is catching up.
Down to 10 seconds. Finney's just gonna hold on. Salzman gets back to his knees. 3 points are awarded to Finney, and that'll do it. And Finney wins 10-4.
Those 3 points awarded because he had Greg on his back for 5 seconds or more. You could see him count it out. So you get 3 near full points for that, and we lose here by a score of 10-4, I believe, right?
Right. Well, we'll go to 125 pounds, and for East Brunswick, wrestling his first varsity match, Greg, is Joe Capodanno, and you may remember his brother Vinny from last year.
Yes, Vinny and Joe, very, very good wrestlers here, work very hard. Unfortunately, Joe's got the son of Al Lilly, the coach at Union. This fellow's name of Dan Lilly, and he's a sophomore. He's got an 8-1-1 record. So
tough match for Joe in his first varsity.
So Joe's got his hands full, first varsity match. Yep.
And you know he's got to be nervous.
Well, I tell you, every one of these boys who walks out onto this mat is nervous. They want to win more than anything. That's one thing that I particularly like about wrestling. It shows a lot of character to walk out there in front of a couple hundred people and perform in a good fashion. You're a reflection of yourself, your team, your parents, and they want to win. And when they don't, you know, it takes a lot to control yourself and be a gentleman and show sportsmanship.
Capodanno moving in, has a leg.
Okay, Joe's got to just get this guy down to onto the back there, and he'll get some points, but Lilly's pretty tough defensively here. He's not going to let that happen.
Inside a minute, first period.
You can see the tremendous balance required in wrestling as Lilly just would not be pulled down to the mat.
No score. Joe Capodanno, Dan Lilly, 125 pounds.
In fact, Joe's in trouble here. Even though he was the aggressor, it's now Lilly who's got the advantage.
40 seconds.
No points awarded yet, but we're in trouble. Okay, that was it. Ref gave 2 points for takedown, and you see him counting away for back points. Lilly didn't panic. He just kept his cool and worked a defensive maneuver on Joe.
Lilly lets him go. He gets 3 points, though. It'll make it 5-0.
Yes, and Union wrestler just deliberately let Joe up.
And the ref stops action, brings him back to the center. Gives him a little talking. "12 seconds. Lilly in the lead, 5-1. And he'll get 2 more. 7-1. And he lets Capodanno up, and that'll do it. First period, 7-2 is the score.
John, in our day, that was a unique thing. You just didn't give up points like that. But now that's it's a new form here of take them, let them up, take them down. And Lilly is that confident in his takedown technique that he figures, well, I'll give up one, but then get two when I bring my opponent to the mat.
Lilly's on top, Capodanno on the bottom.
Lilly looks very strong here. He's working some very good technique. And Joe is giving his best out here, though.
Potentially dangerous.
Yep.
Hold.
Just stop that match, not take any chances, and start them over again.
In terms of the team score, Union is on top 6-4 as we go into this match. 7-2. Lilly on top. He is from Union. He's going against Joe Capodanno. Joe's a senior.
Okay, Joe can work a reverse. Oh, nice move, Joe. Very nice. Got 2 points for a reversal. He's on top now, and he's going to work now to put his opponent to his back. Nice move by Joe.
Makes the score 7-4. Capodanno back in this.
So often a wrestler will be on JV for most of the year, and you put him in a varsity situation, and they'll respond tremendously, and they just need that chance, and maybe we're going to see that here tonight with Joe.
1 minute left in the second period.
Okay, he's got to watch out. He's getting up too high here, and Lilly's going to try to pull him over. Joe's got to arch a bit, stretch this guy out, and Joe's going to be in big trouble now.
He's caught now.
He's in big trouble.
And he's pinned.
Okay.
Lilly pins Capodanno.
It's one thing about wrestling. You make one mistake, and it can be the match. One little mistake, it could be all over, and we have an example of that there.
Wrestling at 130 for Union, Dom McWay.
Greg, we go to 130, and for East Brunswick, Mark Winter against Dom McKay. Mark is a senior, and Coach Cohn says that he should do well in the districts this year.
This Union wrestler looks quite strong, but as I've mentioned before, you can you can overcome that with skill, endurance, and good technique. Let's see if Mark can do that. Union wrestler is definitely the stronger of the two here. That last match, you saw where even though you can have an advantage, it can be over in a second if you make a mistake.
In terms of team points, Union jumps out to a 12-4 lead now. Mark Winter against Dom McKay from Union, 130 pounds.
Both wrestlers are somewhat feeling each other out here to see if they can gain an advantage. In terms of characteristics, I think probably endurance is most important, followed by skill, followed by balance. I'd probably put strength after those three.
And that's interesting. Everyone, generally fans look at strength as the key factor.
Yeah, that's true. You see a lot of this professional exhibition wrestling on TV, and people think you got to be big and strong, but that's not the case in amateur wrestling. In fact, one of the nice things about this sport is you can weigh 98 pounds and be a champion. That's the beauty of the 13 weight classes that they have. Whether you weigh 103 or 203, there's a spot for you.
Winter has a leg if he can take him down.
Looking good here. I think he's Union wrestle put a counter on and fought Mark off there pretty well, but Mark showed some good aggression there, some good technique in getting in. He just has to finish it a little bit better.
25 seconds left in the first period, no score. Winter and McKay.
Okay, Union wrestler shoots now. Now Mark is going to try to put a overhook in here with his arm and use his balance, but now he is getting some airborne here, some flight time here, and that can be tough.
Still no points being awarded. 7 seconds.
Just hold it right there, Mark. If he knows the time, he'll just stay right there.
And that'll do it. And you can see Mark looking up at the scoreboard.
Yeah, a wrestler's got to know the time left and the score at all times, and he did a good thing there. He was in very bad position.
So no score after the first period. A lot of action, though.
Yes, it's we haven't had a boring match here yet. It's maybe a little bit too much action for some of these coaches. That's how we get gray hairs.
Winter on top, trying to take control of Akay. Akay rolls him out of bounds. A clasp sign is given.
True, it's the top wrestler can't lock hands unless it's a pinning combination, and that's what we had there. Mark, to try to make sure his opponent didn't get away, locked his hands and gave up the point, perhaps rather than giving up 2 points for a reversal.
Akay gets the 1 point and takes the lead 1-0. We're in the second period. 130 pounds. Mark Winter for East Brunswick on top.
Mark trying to work a breakdown, but you can see the strength of the Union wrestler. It's not that easy to do with this fella.
And they go out of bounds. Greg, the sport of wrestling has evolved over the years. We mentioned, you know, the use of headgear, even some of the rule changes. They've added some weight classes, all for the better, I would think.
Yeah, they fine-tune the sport, and over the years it has become better and better. In fact, well, you probably don't remember this, but wrestling with canvas covers over mats, and the mat burns that we used to get with that.
No, I'm not that old.
You're not that old? Okay, you probably don't remember the ropes around the mat either, huh? Okay, Mark working again to get his opponent to his back to score some points. And the Union wrestler showing his strength, but Mark now working for a tilt.
Winter trailing 1-0.
Okay, Union coming up on the stand-up now, and they're out of bounds.
52 seconds remaining, second period. Winter will continue to maintain that top position.
East Brunswick got to start making a move now. The team point was we're down 12-4. He's going to work maybe some back points here. Nope, the referee indicates that it was just not enough time.
And they both go out of bounds. Well, Akay's given him everything he could want.
Yeah. We have 39 seconds now in this particular period, and Mark's got to work to turn his opponent over.
Greg, any particular strategy about top or bottom, or is it mainly how the wrestler feels at the moment?
Well, it's actually both. It's first of all, you decide what your favorite position is. Some wrestlers are better on takedowns than they are in bottom position. But the other thing is, too, the experience of the match. If you take your opponent down easily, then you may want to take neutral position. But on the other hand, if he took you down, it may not be too smart to take that position.
Akay gets 2 points, and he's going to get some back points in addition. He leads 3-0.
Mark's got to struggle to get off his back here.
4 seconds. And that'll end the second period, and 3 more points are awarded to Akay. So he'll go on top 6-0. And we have an injury timeout for a moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy here. I know that most people really don't see that, but there's a lot of thinking, a lot of strategy that goes on into a match. And even just the selection of what your choice is going to be for second or third period can play a big factor in the outcome of a match. Okay, Mark will be taking down in the third and final period. And he's got 6 points to make up in this pivotal match here. You know, wrestling, like many other sports, has turned into what can be an all-year-round event for a kid. There's a lot of out-of-season tournaments that they can participate in the spring and summer. There's wrestling clubs that he can join in the off-season. And many of these wrestlers literally do wrestle all year long.
And there are a number of college scholarships now today for wrestling.
Well, that's one of the nice things about the sport. It can get you into college. It can make it cheaper for you, and you can even do a lot of traveling by doing wrestling. East Brunswick has sent wrestlers to West Germany, Hungary, all over the United States, and it's wrestling which has gotten them there. It has a lot of travel opportunities.
Winter, who started on the bottom, trying to get up to his feet and escape. He needs to get out of there and get some points. He trails 6-0, final period.
Union wrestler looks strong. Mark is just on the verge of getting out, but it looks like the strength here might be the difference in this match. Okay, Mark on his feet now. He's got to post one hand out and cut. Back down to the mat, though. Okay, here we go.
Head is out, he's up.
There we go, 1 point escape.
And he's out of bounds, 6-1. And they'll start on their feet. Needs the takedown here, Greg.
Needs a takedown and more. Mark knows he's behind. He's got to take the wrestler down, put him to his back, but Union's got other ideas.
Okay, has control of Winter and gets 2 points to make it 8-1. Inside a minute now left in this match.
Mark trying to get a foot up now, trying to get to his feet, gets the 1 point, but now he's been unsuccessful with takedowns. He's got to change that now. He's got to take this Union wrestler down. Union very aggressive. We have plenty of time yet, 40 seconds, 37.
8-2. Okay, from Union being the aggressor.
Okay, Mark's behind. He's got to go after this guy. He's got to make the big move now. Take down and put him to his back. Go for the fall.
As we move to 15 seconds. Winter trailing 8-2. And it doesn't look like he's going to do it. And that should be it for this match. Okay, with an 8-2 victory over Mark Winter.
Okay, that's going to widen Union's lead here, and East Brunswick's got to get something started now. If, they're going to come away winners for this match.
At 1:35 now, East Brunswick will send out Scott Blackwell against Rich Hardman for Union. Scott's a senior. Comes back to East Brunswick after living in Texas for a period of time. In fact, wrestled for the East Brunswick varsity at 103 pounds. Coach Cohn says he's very good on his feet, so we'll see. Scott Blackwell, now wrestling at 135 pounds.
Both wrestlers here seem to have the same body type, both long and lanky, so that should make an interesting matchup.
And we're going to have an injury timeout. Scott Blackwell, I don't know. I didn't see what happened.
One good thing about wrestling that I've always enjoyed is that you really don't have to have outstanding athletic ability to be good. First and foremost, you need a good attitude, and with that you can overcome any deficiency you may have. I've seen wrestlers who were not strong. In fact, the first state champion that I ever coached could just about do 5 push-ups. But he used technique, he used balance, he used endurance to overcome many a wrestler who was much stronger than he was. So really, if a wrestler has the will to work to win, they can do well in this sport.
Greg, let me ask you something. Not a controversy, but a difference of opinion I've heard over the years in terms of wrestling has been the team score versus the individual. You know, it's not important that you have a good dual meet record. It's really the individual's record, and that's all that anyone really counts about.
No, and that's probably the thing that I like best about wrestling. People say it's an individual sport, but it's really both. And if you look at either bench here and you see each other rooting for your fellow wrestler, you see the team aspect of it. It's just like any other team sport. The only difference is we do our job one at a time. In a team sport, everybody does it together. So you'll see tremendous team spirit on the part of wrestlers, and the team score is important to many of them, most of them.
And speaking of team score, Union on top now, 15-4. Hardman comes in with the takedown, and he'll get 2 points. Still in the first period.
This is going to be an interesting matchup here. I think with the leverage that both of these wrestlers have, I think one or the other is going to get pinned. I think somebody's going to go here.
They go out of bounds. Scott Blackwell for East Brunswick, 135 pounds, against Rich Hardman from Union.
Each wrestler is very dangerous with that leverage that they have.
So far, the only winner has been Brian Mintz for East Brunswick. And that was at 112 pounds, or our second match of the evening. Blackwell on the bottom.
Trying to control his opponent's hand now. That's very important. Good position here. He might be in a position to score, and Union counters it very effectively, though. Yeah, again, there's no controversy in team versus individual sport. It's really both. I think that's what drew me to wrestling. I won't say how many decades ago.
Hardman still in control of Blackwell. 15 seconds in the first period.
Yeah, and just scoring 2 back points there for a 4-0 lead. Scott's got to get out from underneath now and score some points.
Hardman will be on top. And as Greg mentioned, he's in the lead, 4-0.
Okay, here we have our first caution of the evening. That means a wrestler was out of position at the start of the particular period there. In this case, it was caution against Blackwell. And if he happens to make a similar mistake, then he's going to lose a point.
5 seconds left, first period. And that'll do it. So Hardman will enter the second period with a 4-0 lead over Scott Blackwell, 135 pounds. East Brunswick trailing in the team competition, 15-4.
Okay, it's going to be Scott's turn now to take top position, and let's see if he can turn his Union opponent over and score some points. Scott looking over the sideline there for advice. Union coming out pretty quickly, though, at the start of the period. Okay, Scott's got to fight this fellow off here, and you can see him trying to do it with his leverage, and the referee gives Union 1 point for an escape.
They show the score as 1 point for Blackwell. And now they change it. It is a point for Hardman. 5-0 now. He's in the lead.
See both wrestlers on their knees now. That's not really a good position to be in a neutral here. You want to get on your feet like Blackwell's doing, but protect your legs, keep your weight on your opponent. When you're above your opponent, you want him to carry your weight, tire him out, make him work even harder.
Blackwell looking to get something going in terms of points. He trails 5-0. Second period action.
Okay, Scott knows the score now. He's down by 5. We're halfway through this match. He's got to generate some points. The training for this kind of sport is very tough. Any of those of your fans out there who have ever wrestled, even for a minute, know how strenuous it can be. You use every muscle of your body, and after a minute, you're really exhausted. We have now the referee indicating both wrestlers for stalling, not initiating any moves. But now Scott Blackwell shoots in, and he's in very good position here to score a takedown. But can he finish it? That's the question. He's working hard to do that. His Union opponent, though, is working defense, trying to get Scott off.
5-0. Hardman still in the lead against Blackwell. We're down to 15 seconds left in the period.
Scott's got to hustle. He's 10 seconds, got an advantage here, but he's got to turn it into points, and he doesn't have much time to do that.
And that should do it for the second period.
Most good wrestlers, I might add, will run a couple miles a day, and great wrestlers will run about 5 miles a day. That's how important the conditioning is.
Last period, and I believe the referee indicated they'll start from a standing position. Last 2 minutes for Scott Blackwell.
Scott trying to work an underhook here, trying to seek some weakness in his opponent's defense and turn it into points. You can see as the third period comes along here, both wrestlers are not as sharp as they were in the first period. And they're both working hard here to score points or prevent points from being scored. Scott looking for advice to the sideline. He needs a clue here as to how to get his Union opponent down.
Hardman in the lead, 5-0. 1:20 left in the match.
Now that's one thing which many of your viewers aren't aware of. When a wrestler walks out onto the mat, he really has to beat 3 people, not 1. He's got to beat 3. First there's his opponent, as Blackwell has got to get him down here to score. There he goes, 2 points takedown. You've got to beat your opponent. You've got to beat your opponent's coach, who may scout you or find a weakness in your strategy or technique. And lastly, you have to beat the referee. Referees are human, despite what some people may have heard or seen. They will make mistakes, and a wrestler just has to overcome that, and he walks out on that mat with that knowledge. He's got to beat all 3 before he gets his hand raised.
5-2 the score now with 50 seconds left.
Last period actions. Blackwell trying real hard to turn him, trying to work a tilt here.
Needs to get him over and get back points. He can tie this match if he can get Hardman over. 35 seconds.
Hardman trying to come up with a stand-up. Blackwell throwing a cradle. No, not quite a cradle. Referee had to think about that for a minute. He eventually saw that it was locking hands.
15 seconds remaining.
Blackwell will lose a point for that. Referee not stopping it yet because that bottom wrestler has a chance to finish his escape or reversal, which doesn't look like it's happening.
And that should do it. Final score will be 6-2 in favor of Rich Hardman of Union. And we'll go to a 140-pound class where John Fabriel will take on Mike Francesca.
Wrestling at 140 for Union, Mike Francesca, East Brunswick, John.
Okay, East Brunswick's got to get in gear here now. John might be one to do it. He's a very, very hard worker, very dedicated to the sport. Let's see if he can get East Brunswick back in the ball game here.
Team score now, Union 18, East Brunswick 4.
John in on a leg right away, and we've been having trouble finishing our moves here. That's been one of East Brunswick's weaknesses tonight. We're getting in good, but we can't finish it. And you don't get any points till you finish it. They don't give any points for effort here, like they might in school.
We're told that John's a hard worker, an excellent student, and is likely to attend Bucknell University on a partial scholarship, as Bucknell is very interested in him. He comes into this match with a 10-1 record.
Yes, he's really blossomed this year. For a number of years, he wrestled behind the likes of Walter Toto and some other great wrestlers for East Brunswick, but now his senior year, he's doing very, very well. By the way, I might mention too, wrestling affords parents an opportunity to get involved. In fact, John's dad is the president of the East Brunswick Wrestling Club. Doing a fine job there.
No score. First period action, 140 pounds. Fabrielle against Francesca.
Okay, Union in on the leg. John fights, and they go out of bounds.
And Francesca doesn't look like any slouch, Greg.
No, he doesn't. He's seen a Wrestling Matter too, I believe. Yes, he won the Governor Livingston tournament around Christmas time, and is a very, very fine wrestler for Union. John's got his hands full, but John's looking good. He's been the aggressor. Just has to finish a move or two, and he'll come out on top here. You see him working real hard, a lot of motion. That's a sign of a good wrestler. Constantly trying to set up your opponent, gets in on the leg, but his Union opponent here has a little bit of strength, a little bit of good technique, and they both go to bounds.
19 seconds remain, first period. We're at 140 pounds, no score. Fabrielle for East Brunswick.
Oh, nice move, John. Just finish it now.
Isn't able to take advantage of it.
No.
And Francesca.
He's got to move here himself.
And at the buzzer, we'll see if any points are awarded.
No points. Great wrestling you're seeing here. This is fantastic. Union comes in with a move. John counters, attacks with a move of his own. Good continuous wrestling here. Two fine wrestlers.
So no points for either wrestler at the end of one period, and we'll go into the second one with Fabrielle in the bottom position.
Hey, we have a good match here. You're seeing some good technique, John. I'd give you the names of these moves, John, but they're mostly in Latin. Okay, John working hard now to get out from underneath here. And the Union wrestler controlling John's leg as they go out of bounds. Yeah, notice John's referee's position here, how he tucks the ankles. That's so his opponent can't grab it at the whistle and control him better.
Greg, they did away with riding time in high school a few years back.
Yes, God bless. I was never a big fan of riding time. That would be kind of like giving a team in football 3 points if they have 2 minutes or more, what do we call that?
Possession of the ball.
Yeah, possession of the ball, which is silly. You know, that doesn't do anything. It would just slow down the sport of football. And that's essentially what it did with wrestling. If a wrestler on top knew that he could score points by hanging on, that's what they did. So they did away with it, and now the only way a wrestler on top can score is to turn his opponent, try to pin him, which is what this sport's all about.
Inside a minute remaining second period. We're still scoreless. Fabrielle and Francesca both working hard to set themselves up.
John's trying to stand up here now. He's got to get out. This Union opponent is starting to work him over here. He can't give him that time, that opportunity to do that. This, by the way, is one form of wrestling that we do in the United States. In the Olympics, you'll see two other forms. One's Greco-Roman, and the other one's called freestyle. Okay, the referee just warned the wrestler in green about stalling, but it's just pretty tough for him to do something at this point.
12 seconds remaining. Fabrielle, Francesca on top.
Okay, Union opponent is working John's upper body here pretty well. And going into the last period now, we got a 0-0 score.
Greg, should it remain scoreless at the end of 3 periods, would they go into a overtime or would it just be considered a tie?
Yeah, they do that in a tournament. There is an overtime match in a tournament, but in this situation, in a dual meet, it will remain a tie, and each team will be awarded 2 points. But naturally, in a tournament, one wrestler has to advance, So they'll go into this overtime match of 1-1-1. And if still tied, they have criteria. But one's got to go on. You can't have them both advance.
Still scoreless here at 140 pounds. John Fabriel for East Brunswick against Mike Francesca of Union. East Brunswick trailing in the team competition 18-4.
Yeah, Union here was really able to control that second period very well. Now it's John's turn to show everybody what he has on top. He's trying to work tilts, trying to get his opponent down to the mat. And in the last period now, with it tied, it's crucial that he not give up any points, and yet at the same time try to score some. I might add, both teams look like they're in pretty good condition. Frequently, the flu will hit one school or the other, and some wrestlers tend to die in the third period. But so far in this match, both teams have shown good condition.
I also understand that East Brunswick wrestled last night, so.
Yes, they've had a tough schedule lately. They wrestled last night against Woodbridge and had a real close match, won by 2 points. John gave up a reversal here with 1:10 left in the match. He's down by 2, so he's got to come back.
Francesca on top takes the lead.
In addition, they wrestled Howell on Monday, Woodbridge on Wednesday, and now Union on Thursday. So their schedule has been quite tough.
Francesca trying to get Fabriol over. 40 seconds remain in the match. He's on top 2-0 in terms of score.
Second period, Union was on top and was able to control John pretty well. John's got 30 seconds to show us otherwise here. Okay, and he just called John for stalling here, and since that's the second time, he awarded Union 1 point.
Fabriel down now 3-0 with 15 seconds left. That should do it. Francesca from Union will win it 3-0. And East Brunswick looking for a winner other than Brian Mintz.
It's been a long time coming here now so far, and coming up at the next match, we have the second son, the oldest son of Coach Al Lilly, Steve.
And Steve Lilly from Union will take on Josh Cohen from East Brunswick at 145 pounds. Josh is a senior, and he's filling in for an injured member of the team, I believe Dave Goldstein.
Yes, Dave hasn't been on the mats yet this season. He's had a broken fibia, I believe, but may return in a few weeks. East Brunswick misses his skill and technique here, and certainly what he can contribute, but let's see how Josh can make out.
Well, in team score, it's now Union 21, East Brunswick 4. Josh taken right to his back.
Yes, Union with a headlock, usually very good with upper body, in total control here, signaling to his teammates that he's going to score a pin here.
Lilly already has 2 points, and he's going to be awarded back points as well.
Josh
Cohen
fighting hard, good bridge here. But Union very tough with these headlocks.
Union wrestler lets him go, 3 points. It'll make it 5-0. And just a bit of trivia for you, Greg. Josh, regardless of his wrestling career, owns his own computer chip company. So he's well protected for the future.
I'm going to have to talk to Josh. That's something that I've been studying a lot lately. This Steve Lilly here, Union opponent, is 10-0. He's got 7 falls, 2 technicals, and his worst match of the year, he won by a 13-4 score. He was the outstanding wrestler in both of Union's tournaments.
Well, he leads already 7-1 with 30 seconds left in the first period.
Yes, Josh has got his hands full here.
Greg, if the match reaches a total point score of 14, is it that they stop the match?
I believe it's 14. If there's a differential, And I say I believe because it changes from year to year, and I haven't had my hands on a rule book yet this year, but they will stop the match and award a technical fall. Now, what's different from last year is that you'll get 5 points for that. You will not get 6, which is the equivalent to a pin. So really, you want to work for the pin.
Josh Cohen in trouble again.
Big trouble here, yes. And there
he's
we
pinned.
go. There's the fall. That being Lily's 8th fall in 11 matches. Josh has nothing to be ashamed of. What you see there is a quality wrestler, sure to go on into the States and do quite well.
All right, we move to 152, and Alex Decker for East Brunswick against Rob Vieira of Union. Alex Decker is a senior, a gymnast in the fall. And what Coach Stu Coden told us is that what Alex lacks in technique, he makes up for rather in determination. His first full varsity season.
Many sports, John, complement wrestling quite well, and gymnastics is certainly one of them. Gives wrestlers tremendous upper body and grip strength, something which many people don't realize. You need to have a good, strong grip in wrestling. A sport like soccer greatly improves endurance as well as cross country. Football, on the other hand, improves strength as well as quickness and aggressiveness. So we've always encouraged our wrestlers to participate in other sports, finding that in truth makes them better wrestlers.
All right, Alex Decker at 152 pounds for East Brunswick, looking to get something going, get some points on the board. East Brunswick now trailing in the team competition 27-4. Alex showing his aggressiveness.
We must remember too that East Brunswick is going to forfeit the heavyweight match, and as a result the score is even 6 points greater than we have right now. So East Brunswick has got to get moving here with a couple falls to get them in the ball game.
Decker working hard.
Nice 2-point takedown there. Looked good. Looked good.
42 seconds left in the first period. Decker on top, 2-0.
Alex checking his opponent out here, seeing what his stance is in bottom position, trying to think how he can best secure an advantage. Going for the ankle, now comes up to tie up his opponent's arms. Constantly trying to break his opponent down.
1 point as Decker lets him go.
Okay, Alex scored a takedown before. The trick is to do it within the next 18 seconds because that's how much time we have left in this period.
Decker on top, 2-1.
Wrestling, by the way, is known as man's oldest sport, John. I don't know if you know that. But for thousands of years, one form of wrestling has taken place. In fact, the tombs of the Egyptians, they have depicted various wrestling moves and holds.
That's the end of the first period. As we get ready for the second period, Decker still in the lead, 2-1, and he'll take the bottom position. Vieira on top for Union now. 1 point is not a lead really in wrestling.
No, it really doesn't mean an awful lot. What Alex has got to do is keep wrestling the way he has been and try to make it a 4-2 lead, and just keep duplicating that. There's always the chance too your opponent can make one fatal mistake and you can secure a fall. You really have to be a perfectionist in this sport because if you move your arm 3 inches out of place, it can cost you a match. Okay, Alex coming here. Oh, almost had a neutral, but working very hard. A lot of motion here, a lot of movement. Okay, until his Union opponent had some other ideas.
Vieira holding on, not letting Decker take advantage.
The challenge of this sport is tremendous. You walk out on the mat and it's going to be you or him, one or the other, and everybody's going to see it.
Decker spins around.
Good move for reversal there. Good move. Nice, quick. Now he's got to get his opponent down so the same thing can't happen to Alex.
2 more points. He's in the lead, 4-1. And he's looking to be only the second wrestler tonight to win for the Bears.
Okay, 1 point escape there now. Alex giving that up pretty easily, but he's going to work now for that takedown.
It's now 4-2, Decker over Vieira. 35 seconds remaining in the second period.
Okay, Alex trying a quick setup and a shot, but Union blocking and Alex blocking the block for the 2-point takedown.
He's got it, 6-2 now the score, 15 seconds.
Alex working very well, getting some advice from his coaches. And let's see, he can put it into action.
False start.
Okay, Union up on his feet. Alex bringing him down to the mat.
5 seconds remaining in the second period. And that'll do it. Decker with a 6-2 lead as he goes into the third and final period.
Alex has got a good lead here, but East Brunswick is looking for more. They need to get some big team points here. A pin would do it. East Brunswick with 3 matches this week is going to face another 3 matches next week. So they've got themselves some pretty tough schedule. They face Middletown South on Tuesday, J.P. Stevens. That'll be a big Red Division match on Wednesday. And also on Saturday, another Red Division match against Piscataway. 2 key matches there, Stevens and Piscataway, that they'll want to win to stay in the Red Division competition.
Alex in control. He leads 6-2, final period, 152 pounds.
He's got to watch his hips now. He's in trouble here. He's got to get his hips up or else he's going to give up the reversal, which he does.
And Vieira takes 2 and it'll make it 6-4. And Decker now in some pain.
Okay, can't tell what that is. Getting back to East Brunswick now, they've lost to South Plainfield. The perennial power, really, the last 3 or 4 years in Middlesex County. Very tough to beat them, but fortunately for East Brunswick, South Plainfield is in the white division. So East Brunswick right now is a leader in the red. 3 weeks from now, they'll meet a favorite of mine, Madison Central High School, which is where I teach. We've always had some rather exciting bouts against those fellows.
And we'll be covering that, by the way, here on Channel 8, that match.
Very good. That'll be a great one.
You see Phil Hostler working on the hand of Alex Decker.
Yeah, probably Alex jammed a finger or inadvertently sprained it. Mr. Hostler checking the grip of the wrestler. At the same time, though, Alex getting a little rest here, but also so is his Union opponent.
Rob Vieira talking to his coach, Al Lilly.
By the way, Al has been coaching 23 years and he still competes in wrestling. We have him at the Old Bridge Festival, and he does quite well, I might add. That's over in the summertime in July. Alex off to a good quick start, but not able to turn it into points. We've got 1:10 left here, and Alex doesn't want to stay down there too long because his Union opponent needs to turn Alex for some points.
Vieira trying to maintain control, working on that arm. Under a minute. Decker on top, 6-4. That could change quickly, though. Vieira can turn him over.
Union looking tough on top here, working Alex's arm.
Stalling called on Decker.
Yep, he could give up a point here unless he shows some motion, some action. Referee thinks he's just sitting there. In truth, it might be Union. Union is just dominating Alex at this point, and it's very hard to get some motion going.
20 seconds.
When the guy in your back is trying to pin you.
Decker trying to hold on to a 6-4 lead.
Okay, now here we go. Here, Alex got some room here. He's got his arm free. Didn't do anything. The referee awarded 1 point stalling, and that winds up the match, though.
And Decker holds on for the victory, 6-5, to be the only the second wrestler tonight to win for the Bears thus far. 6-5, Decker is the winner at 152 pounds. And we'll move on to the 160-pound class. And we expect Anthony Billings for East Brunswick against Mike Bortnick of Union. And Greg Billings is a sophomore. This is his first varsity match. Filling in for another injured East Brunswick wrestler, and you see him coming out.
Well, once again, we have a situation where a sophomore gets to show his talents. Inexperience can be a very big minus, but on the other hand, many of these wrestlers relish the thought of being able to show everybody what they can do on varsity.
Team score, it's Union 27, East Brunswick 7 now. We're at 160 pounds. Billings for East Brunswick against Bortnick for Union. And Bortnick jumping right after him. Two aggressive wrestlers out there.
A lot of motion. If they keep this up for the full 3 periods, I'd be surprised. But in the meantime, we can enjoy this action here.
Billings taken to his back. Bortnick's got him. He's going to get back points at the very least. Billings trying to fight his way out.
Made one mistake there. Was aggressive in trying to use a move and got caught with it.
And Bortnick has plenty of time to hold him. A minute left in the period.
Good bridge by Billings. He doesn't want to get pinned here. He knows it'll be a big trouble for East Brunswick. Fighting off his back. Good bridge. That's the way you want to get out of that position. Good high bridge.
Bortnick holding on, 40 seconds, and he's pinned. Billings is pinned for East Brunswick.
Union and fans enjoying that. East Brunswick a little silent over here at this point, though. That was tough now.
So we'll go to 171. Scott Kammerer will be up for East Brunswick, a sophomore. Coach Cohn tells us he's the blood and guts of this team, and he's already beat 2 district champs from last year. However,
Yeah.
he's 5-5 this season.
Yeah, I believe it's his first time wrestling. Is that right?
Well, he's a sophomore.
Yeah, doing very well. Has upset a number of quality wrestlers.
Right now, he's on his knees as he comes up against Mike Bowl.
You can see East Brunswick with a lot of sophomores in their lineup. If they can come through this season here with a decent record, I think the future will bode well for these young Bears. Particularly in light of the fact that they're all aggressive wrestlers. They've tried to work technique. They don't sit back, and that's very important in a sport like this.
Greg, I can see from my position that Scott Kammerer is cut on his forehead.
Yeah, he's got a boo-boo there. Probably a result of maybe getting mixed up with some headgear. This is not injury time. So that doesn't get charged against him. But he's ready to go. It's nothing more than a minor scrape. Shaking hands with his Union opponent, display of sportsmanship, and they're ready to go at it again.
We're in the first period, 171 pounds. Scott Kammerer, a sophomore, against Mike Bowl of Union.
Scott in on a leg, trying to turn the corner and get, no, very close though. Very close to getting that takedown. Referee indicating no change, no points being awarded.
You must have full control to gain the points. Am I right?
Yeah, that's the problem. You can shoot in and get in real deep and have your opponent in a lot of trouble, but unless you get full control of him, it'll be for naught. And a number of East Brunswick wrestlers have gotten 3/4 of the way, only not to finish it and not get any points. Great match here. Both wrestlers look very, very aggressive, a lot of action.
And Cameron not backing off at all.
No, he's trying everything here. I see both wrestlers trying to get an opening whereby they might be able to grab their opponent's leg for a single or double leg takedown. Union opponent tried some upper body moves there instead of going for the legs, going for the head and shoulders. Once again, they're out of bounds.
55 seconds remaining here in the first period. No score. Camera against Bowl. 171 pounds.
Probably some 30 different holes these wrestlers have in which they could take their opponent down, but for every one of those, there's some defensive technique that'll block it. Union in deep here, but look, Scott, nice defense, breaks him down. Trying to work around behind him.
Greg, I want to mention, looking and thinking about Anthony Billings, there's no embarrassment in being pinned, and every wrestler, even the best of them, get pinned at some point in time.
That's very true. The important thing is that you give it your best. And if you do happen to get pinned, as most every wrestler does in his career sometime or another, you try to use that as incentive to get better. Most cases you lose because you made a mistake, not because the other opponent was much better than you, but you lacked some technique or conditioning was poor.
2 points, excuse me, for Kammerer.
And that's great to know, because if you're the problem, then you can be the solution. You control your own destiny in this sport. If you're not happy with losing, you have the opportunity to do something about it. Run a little longer, work a little harder, get your technique down a little bit better. And a good wrestler will use a loss and come back. In fact, when I coached at East Brunswick and at Madison Central, it was my hope that no wrestler went undefeated during the year, because I'd like to see them use that loss and make them better. And at the end of the year, when districts and regions and state comes around, they're all the better.
End of the first period. Kammerer on top, 2-1 now. Get ready for the second period, and Scott will go over to see Stu Cohn, his coach, and Stu will apply some pressure on the forehead to stop the bleeding, or at least minimize it.
Now, this may sound strange, but it's you learn a lot more with a loss than you do with a win. And coaches can move wrestlers around, see that they get good competition. We did that with Glenn Pazinko a few years ago. He would wrestle heavyweight quite a few times, even though he was an 88-pounder, just for the competition. Scott doing a good job here now. He's got to control his Union opponent here a little better on top and perhaps get some back points.
False start.
Yeah, on green. That's East Brunswick. Scott's got to get his composure now. Looking his opponent's stance, bottom position. Thinking what's the best breakdown to use here. I'm trying to apply that now.
Go out of bounds. Score remains 2-1.
A lot of motion here. We're going to see some points scored soon, one way or the other here. Scott got that little cut up on his forehead there, but it certainly is not affecting his performance at all.
Could he lose the bout on a cut like that, Greg?
Only if it was severe, where his health would be endangered, and really that doesn't happen too often. They're allowed unlimited injury time to stop bleeding, so very rarely would a wrestler lose because of that. And in fact, I've never seen it.
Kammerer and Bowl locked up.
Scott's got to get on top now, fighting to get up on top, working in a half Nelson. And Union trying to get a reversal here. Scott's got to arch up and get that head out, otherwise he's going to be in trouble. And
Bowl makes the move, gets 2 points.
now Scott's on his back. He's got to fight off there.
Bowl hooks the arm around the neck. He's on top 3-2 in score. Camera able to get to his stomach, but Bowl will get 2 more points to make it 5-2. And like you said, Greg, just one slight mistake.
That's it.
Not to say that Scott Camera is out of this match. We're only in the second period.
And it's a fine line there, John. You, a wrestler, knowing that one mistake he can lose, it sometimes gets shy, doesn't do any moves at all, and loses the match because of that. So you still have to be aggressive. You still got to give it a try, but you've got to come in with good technique.
Again, Scott going over to have his cut attended to. Can they tape it? I guess that's what they're going to do now.
Oh yeah, they can tape it. Looks like they're going to do that now. It's a minor thing. Right now they're about, I guess, 1/3 through their season here, which occupies the winter months. And East Brunswick in a tough situation here. This would be their 3rd loss in a row. They're trying to rebound here, and certainly next week when they get those Red Division matches, they want to be ready to go. They're injured now. They've got a couple of their key wrestlers out. Hopefully they'll have a few days to recuperate and get back on the winning trail next week.
Team score, it's Union 33, East Brunswick 7. Quite honestly, there's no way East Brunswick can pull it out at this point.
Yes, true. But what these boys want to do now is go out there for their own and give it the best they can. Scott looks like he's been through a war, but it's really only a minor cut, and he's ready to finish up this second period here pretty strong.
51 seconds remain in this second period. Bowl is on top 5-2.
Okay.
And 1 point's going to be awarded to Bowl. And the referee talking now to Scott Camera.
Yeah, that was another false start there on his part.
Now we should keep in mind he is only a sophomore.
Working to get a reversal here, is in pretty good shape, but he's got to face his opponent a little better, get better control of his opponent's legs, which he's doing now, pushing back, going to get a 1 point here, I think, escape.
And they will give him 1 point. Makes the score 6-3 with 31 seconds left in the period. So Camera is still in this.
A lot of action in this match. Both wrestlers now going to work for the takedown. Let's see what Scott can do. Shot in for a double leg that time. We've seen a lot of single legs. He's trying to get both of them this time, but Union going into a sprawl, dropping his hips down so that Scott can't pick him up.
5 seconds left, second period.
Whoa, that was close, very close.
So at the buzzard and at the end of 2 periods, it remains Bowl 6, Camera 3. And this, the final 2 minutes coming up.
Scott checking with his coaches as to what position he should take. Many times a wrestler will take down because that generally is the easiest place to score from. It's easier to escape than it is to either get a takedown or get near 4 points. Unfortunately, the guy on top has something to say about that. And Union looks tough here. They've controlled East Brunswick for many of the matches here when they've been in the top position.
As the wrestlers go out of bounds with 1:33 left. Camera will be on the bottom.
Union's currently ranked number 2 in their county behind Roselle Park, the one school that defeated them last week. But like East Brunswick, they are a large school with a very, very rich wrestling tradition. East Brunswick's tradition reaching all the way back, I believe, some 28 years with Jay Doyle being the start.
Jay Doyle, head coach, man who would sit there and whether you were winning by 20 points or you were losing by 20, you could never tell by looking at his face.
I don't know how he did that. That's absolutely correct. Showed no emotion whatsoever.
Scott needing to get out and get on his feet and hope to grab hold of Mike Bowl here from Union. He has 1:07 to work with.
Scott's got time, but he's got to work on some good technique here. You just can't go out and move your body around. You've got to have a sense of direction, a sense of some good motion, good technique. And Union's kind of shutting him down, his repertoire of moves. I think Scott's capable of winning this bout yet. Let's see what happens. Another potentially dangerous hold. Oh, no, let's see, what is that now? What's that called? That looked like a full Nelson, probably. That's an illegal hold. Many kids will do that in the rough house, backyard type of wrestling that occurs frequently. Full Nelson. But that's illegal in scholastic wrestling.
We're still not sure who's being awarded the point. No point has been placed on the scoreboard as yet. It will go to Bowl, so that makes the score 7-3 with 30 seconds left in the match.
Scott moving to get out now, is in good position, working to his feet, and gets the 1 point.
7-4, he's got to go after him for the takedown.
But loses 2 right away on the takedown.
Makes it 9-4, 15 seconds left.
That was probably inexperience right there, John. After he got his 1 point, he kind of relaxed for a minute, and then Union took advantage of that.
And they go out with 5 seconds.
Referee checking the score here. We have 2 scorekeepers, 1 from each school. They constantly compare notes back and forth to make sure the score is correct. This official, by the way, is a former wrestler, and if any of your viewers out there are interested in becoming a referee, there is a shortage of quality referees in New Jersey, and nice opportunity to make some part-time pay. In fact, we have a number of East Brunswick parents who have come into refereeing. In fact, the JV match for this particular one was coached by a former parent of one of the wrestlers. That would be a parent of a former wrestler. Excuse me.
5 seconds remain here in this match. 171 pounds, Scott Kammer against Mike Bowl, and that will do it. Bowl coming out on top, 8-6.
Showing a lot of potential though, and I think you're going to see a lot from this fella. He's looking good.
Well, Greg, we come down to our last match of the evening since the heavyweight for East Brunswick will forfeit. So that brings us to the 189-pound class. Matt Pazinko against Rich Tullis. And Coach Cohn has told me that even though Matt Pazinko is a sophomore, he is a true leader of this team.
He's doing very, very, very well. Only a sophomore, has a real good record. It's a pleasure to watch him wrestle the way he's developed. That's a nice thing about scholastic sports. You get to see these young men in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade, and by the time they get through their senior year at high school, they're fine young men. And Matt's fallen into that category. We've just seen him develop over the years, and he's a real pleasure to watch. Referee
cautioning both wrestlers about their pushing and shoving that's gone beyond the wrestling mat. Both being aggressive, and certainly Matt Pazinko wants to end tonight's activities on a good note for East Brunswick. And Tullis isn't about to give in, and he takes a 2-point lead on a reversal.
Matt has wrestled for a while. He does have a lot of experience. One of the phenomena you see with wrestlers is that it kind of runs in the family. And, he's had 2 older brothers who've wrestled for East Brunswick. Glenn right now is wrestling for North Carolina, doing quite well there. Matt in on a bear hug, trying to pull it in, hook a leg, in which case he might take his opponent right to the back like we're doing here.
And Tullis rolls over with it.
Union flips over, and now Matt's in trouble, but Matt doesn't panic, and now I think we're going to see him stabilize the position.
2 points for Pazinko. We're tied, he and Tullis. Pazinko in control.
Nice technique there on Matt there, working that bear hug to his advantage.
40 seconds remain first period.
Matt putting legs in and hoping to get some back points here as he works in a half Nelson.
25 seconds. No back points awarded as yet. Pazinko with his headgear around his eyes. Five seconds. That'll do it. So at the end of the first period, we have a 2-2 tie.
Okay, and Stu Cohn questioning about some back points in the hopes that we can get a lead on Union. Union's choice picks neutral, which I think is Matt's forte here. He looked pretty good that last go around.
Tullis going right after Pazinko.
Matt looks in control there. He looks very, very confident. Something that's quite rare in a sophomore at a varsity level here. He looks good.
And he's pushing Tullis. He's going after him. And a stall is going to be called against Tullis. Greg, I'm surprised they're allowing that pushing.
The pushing is all right as long as it's directed in a good sense here. If it's pushing to hurt your opponent, then the referee will stop it. If it's pushing to set him up and work a takedown like we've got here, the referee will permit it.
Pazinko gets two.
Referee saying you can't get back points because he's out of bounds. You got to pull him in, Pazinko, before you can do that.
Pazinko on top, 4-2.
He got the takedown, but can't get back points because his opponent's shoulders are not in bounds. As you see him now trying to pull him in, slipping in a half, and he might have an opportunity here to get him in. Trying hard to do that.
50 seconds remain.
And he's working a cradle now, John, and that'll be real easy to pull him in then. But times are running here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Matt's in good position.
He's got him.
Fall here. And
he pins him. 38 seconds remain in the second period, and Pazinko pins Rich Tullis.
Well, you see a situation there where he couldn't get his opponent because he was out of bounds, but he did the right thing. Pulled him in, put another move on him, and wins the fall.
And that'll be it for tonight's event. As we said, the heavyweight for East Brunswick has forfeited. So the team score will be actually 42-13. Union wins this dual match. And as you see, the East Brunswick wrestlers lining up and coming across the mat to meet their Union opponents. Greg, while it wasn't a team victory, I think one thing that Coach Cohn can walk away with is the showing of some of his sophomores and the ability to give them some varsity experience.
Yes, definitely, John. You saw an injury-riddled East Brunswick team go up against a very, very good Union opponent, and a lot of sophomores in there. I think you're going to see some great things in future years from those wrestlers. What they've got to do is work hard this year, then in the off-season, get stronger, enter a lot of tournaments, go to camps, attend wrestling clubs. And from what I understand, this sophomore group has that wrestling in their blood. So I think next year this time you're going to be seeing a very different story.
And Greg, I want to take this moment to publicly thank you for coming out and joining me for tonight's activity. I know I appreciated your expertise and insight, and I'm sure our fans did as well.
Well, John, I want to thank you for inviting me here. And really, anytime, I thoroughly enjoyed this. As I mentioned earlier, once wrestling gets in your blood, it's very difficult to get it out, and Thank you again. I look forward to doing this again some other time.
Well, that's it from East Brunswick High School. The Bears losing on the mat, but we'll be back and cover them again this year when they have a big match, a GMC Red Division match against Madison Central. So for Greg DeMarco, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.